Everyone having fun yet? Hello, B Halo. Hello, Frank. Frank is not having fun, or is Frank not seeing the link? I wonder why the link it wouldn't be showing up. Does it show up if I post it here? There we go. Maybe that'll work. Hello, the Angel Share Whiskey Distillery. How's it going? Yeah, for some reason, when I was typing it in the place I thought it would work, it wasn't working, but I typed it in the other place and it worked. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend himself.
Hey, the link was not there until you just put it up.
I just realized I have to put on my earphones or I can't hear you.
Yes, the link was not there until you put it up.
Yeah, I was typing it into the live chat on YouTube, and it wasn't showing up. But then the second I typed it into StreamYards, then it showed up. So I don't know. Hey, Digger, what's going on? How's life in the fast lane? Yeah, I was trying to eat before I turned on the camera, but you know.
We heard the spoon rattling around on a fork.
Yeah, it's my fork. So I was trying to be secretive.
So what's new?
Mike at Crossed Anchors, yes, I was shunning you. B Halo, I hope you can hear me because everything on my end indicates you can.
Heath, I can't see the chat while I'm in here, so if they say let me know.
What's with that Frank guy?
Ha ha ha.
Yeah, it's really funny. Like I didn't realize until I did that interview with Big Bill just how out of sync the StreamYard chat was with the YouTube chat. So the YouTube chat would happen, and then the StreamYard chat, like every 2-3 minutes, would like populate, and it was just like the weirdest. It was just the weirdest situation. So yeah. So for people that are here now early, I don't really have something planned, but I have something I need to do. Unfortunately, the thing I need to do is more computer stuff. I actually got a new sponsor, and I'd like to get the video up sooner than later. So I need to basically create that video. So I don't know how interesting watching me do that is going to be, but I thought we're all kind of locked down with nothing else to do anyway. So I'm hoping, we get a couple people in the chat. And
you're locked down?
I'm not technically locked down. Technically, I just don't have a job.
Oh, well, me neither right now. So,
so yeah.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago I left mine. So.
Oh, 2 weeks ago. I've been off since March, or off. I've been fired since March.
Oh.
So yeah, mine's been a little. My journey's been a little bit interesting. Let's just say that.
I am looking for something I can do from at home because.
Yeah.
Well, the doctor told me 2 weeks ago I had a condition that shouldn't be stressed that I was in. So I'm at home playing with trains, which don't seem to be less stressful. So.
Hey, Thomas Iden. Yeah, Angel says we're locked down again in Glasgow, Scotland. I just heard that. I know UK is locked down. Like people talk about in the US how we don't have the freedom to like go do certain things. And I'm like, yeah, go to like Scotland or Panama or South Africa where they're literally locked down.
Yeah.
They can't, like, they're not allowed to leave their house. Like, we're being asked to put on a mask when they leave their. I shouldn't get into politics. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine. We're limited to in Pittsburgh here. We're limited to how many people we can have in restaurants and stuff, but we can pretty much go and do what we want. Gotta
That's
wear
pretty
a
much
mask.
what it
though.
is here too. You know, I just don't have anywhere to go. So,
Yeah,
hey, Joe
no money.
Raider, I hope the dog's okay. Says he's got to go take his dog to the vet.
Been there, done that last week.
Hello, Buffalo Rail fan. Welcome. So I'm going to go shut this window a little bit and see if I can make myself a little brighter because right now it's picking up the window. So give me 1 second. I bet you everyone's glad I was wearing pants when I walked away, huh?
Thank God. Yeah, we were, but those are some ugly feet.
I mean, who puts shoes on when they're at home? Daniel Banks says, I'm working in the basement. My camera hates the light here. Yeah. I just gotta play with it here until I kind of get it right. But hey, Ian, Lehigh River Subdivision.
So
Digger says, I'm not bothered. I didn't really have anywhere I needed to go. So it's interesting. Now that I'm doing this actually through StreamYard, the chat's much faster. But when I did it through OBS, the chat was slower. It's a pain in the butt.
it's a server. So
Yeah, they say the API is set up not to feed very often. But
So I took some little inspiration, I guess, from Tom. As we all know, Tom tore his layout down. He's in the process of
yes, you
moving.
did.
My layout being 10 by 12 here
Yeah.
forces me to climb on top of it.
Yeah.
I'm going to actually dismantle mine and make it more like a C shape going around the room. I may even extend it like a little island in the middle, but so I don't have to climb up. If I would have thought this through when I first built it.
Can you, like, it looks like you're sitting against the wall now. So I guess instead of sitting against the wall, you'd move more into the middle of the room so it can wrap around you.
Yeah, see how I'm squeezed back there and that little.
Yeah. Yeah, so you could just push that against the wall and leave the center open.
Yeah.
Are you
Push
gonna be
it
able to
against.
save a lot of your layout, or are you gonna have to kind of start over?
I'm going to save all the trees, everything off, and I'll be able to use almost all of it over. I have
Great.
tons and tons of extra track. But it'll just be configured. Now, the only thing I have grades on this layout, and I may go and get rid of all the grades.
You know, grades are interesting. Like, I think layouts need grades, but you can do them two different ways. You can have the bench work change elevation,
That's
or
what
you can
I'm
have
planning.
the track change elevation. And yeah, I think
I'm going to do the bench work so that the valleys and stuff are cut or set lower, and make the track look like it's raised rather than.
yeah. I mean,
Because
unless you need for some reason to do it the other way, like if you need to have a track go over another track, like then obviously you need to have a grade. But if
well, I have that here now, but I have a grade here. It comes about 10 feet to raise the grade of 4 inches. But some of my trains have, some of my consists here have 9, 10, 11 cars, and that's a bend on that grade.
right.
So unless I double head it, I'm not making the grade.
Yeah, Ian says he did flat bench work with foam risers because it was easier for him that way, and that is true. I mean, that is.
Yeah, my grades were done with those woodland scenic risers
Yeah.
and grades. They're much easier to do. But yeah, and then the downgrade has an S bend in it. That's nice.
Oh, yeah, that's rough.
I haven't had any derailments on it, but I definitely can't come up in the other direction.
When you build it next time, do you think you'll just do like crossovers so you can have the tracks cross, or do you think you will actually, you know, do an up and over kind of thing?
There's two main lines on here. One is like a perimeter main line, and the other one does all that crazy stuff with the inside. And there are two sets of crossovers. Uh, so the inside train can switch to the outside, but to get to the yard, you got to go to the inside track. So
Right. Yeah.
the yard's kind of crowded right now. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah. Ian said I thought about the cookie cutter method, but changed my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess I'm not even so much talking about necessarily cookie cutter, but just like, when you want to have a divot, just cut it out. When you want to have a mountain, just plop it at the top. But
Yeah, exactly. So I'll if people have commented on the videos I posted on mine, and talked to me in emails and whatnot, they like how the terrain just varies all over. It's not a flat board with mountains off of it, but yet
Yep.
it's so you need the grades that way. But the grades of this, especially with the area I have, 10 by 12 in HO is not that big.
Right.
It'd be huge in your end scale.
Yes.
But
Well, and that's what's interesting too, is like in N scale, the valleys and the mountains don't actually have to be that high.
no, a couple inches.
Yeah.
So it's like I had a light burn out in the gas station. I have to climb on top of here. Now I have strategic points where I know I can step, but accidents do happen. I've knocked over poles and trees. I have to get in there and do that, and I'm like,
And the
you
other
know what?
side is, how many more years do you want to be climbing on top of your layout for too?
Yeah, at 50
You
some
know?
years old, 51 years old, I don't want to keep going up there.
Yeah. So, you're gonna stick with HO though. Like it's all gonna be similar. You're gonna do a similar area and everything, same kind of style that you currently have, or are you thinking that you
Yeah,
might go
yeah.
like more prototypical or less prototypical, or
It's basically just gonna. I guess it's not. I'm in Pittsburgh, but it's not the Pittsburgh area. Even though it's not prototypically Pittsburgh. Even though most of my trains are PNLE or Pennsylvania.
yeah,
Uh, it's just I just tried to model the topography around here, the low hills, the fall trees, stuff like that, stuff you would find around here. Like I have, for example, over there in a small town, I have a factory, a Heinz. I got it off Pittsburgh Train Freak. Uh,
okay,
he makes those flat buildings. I have his
yeah, I like his stuff. I like him. Yeah,
yeah, I have his HJ Heinz here, and I put one of the who makes those signs? I can't think of the name now. They're Miller Engineering.
oh yeah, yeah. I have a couple of the Millionaire Engineering
Yeah,
LED
and
signs.
I added his sign, their sign to the top of his building,
Ah, okay.
and he lives fairly close to me. So, but yeah, I added some more buildings in his style where I just printed out buildings and put them on a foam background.
Do you know Scott Eric Catalano in person,
I
or
do
any of
not.
those? You do not.
No, I do not. And it's crazy. I got to get to meet these guys because I've been doing this for years. There's a local town, Bellevue. Last year, we set up a display in the bottom of a church next door to the fire department. We put a Christmas display up with O gauge, which I also have, but it sits in a box in my house.
But yeah, I have HO and G scale sitting in boxes in my house. So
Where are you going to put G scale at? Central Park?
I had it from many, many years ago. I had bought a layout when I was single. It used to run around the outside of the living room, under the couch, and around and back. And it's been packed away for 20 years or so.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
box under the layout.
Yeah.
All scale.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. Do you have the G scale? Would you put it outside, or?
If I had G scale, it'd be in my backyard. I actually have a
Yeah.
yard, so
There you go. Right. Yeah. And that's, my dad had an outdoor deck that he had some of the G scale stuff on for a little while. But
I would love to do that because I have a pond out there which I could put a bridge over and all. It'd be great. But
the pond have fish or no?
yes, the fish are all bigger than that train would ever be.
They'll eat the train.
I have koi in there that are over 30 inches.
Now, I was talking to Steve Childers, actually, who also has koi in his pond.
Mm-hmm.
and he was telling me that koi are very sensitive to electric currents. And
Yeah.
because of that, he actually says he wouldn't put a G scale layout because um, he's afraid that there'd be some issue with his koi.
Well,
Now,
see,
I don't.
I would use G scale out there, but I would find a way, and I've seen it done on YouTube where there's no power on the track. It's actually
Yeah,
the
dead
locomotive
rail.
battery. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd have the locomotive power itself, not actual steam, but maybe like a rechargeable battery from a drill or something.
yeah. As long as it didn't fall in the koi pond, you'd be good to go then.
Well, you build a truss bridge. Well, not a truss bridge. What do
I'm
they
just
call it?
kidding.
Yeah, well, you could do it.
Battery, as Ian says, yeah, battery operated is the way to go because then too you're not cleaning your track constantly just to make uh the electrical connection,
And you
especially
can
outside.
let it weather naturally.
Yeah, I heard the funniest thing the other day. We were talking about do you know GFW?
Yeah.
GFW 20. So they got a T-Trak module.
Hmm.
And every time I jump on the chat, Wally says, "Hey George, why don't you tell Heath where you are with your T-Trak module?" And he's like, "Well, I built the module, but I haven't gotten very far." He goes, "I'm letting it indoor weather." And I'm like, "Collect dust?" He's like, "Yeah, exactly,
Oh,
exactly."
I
You got
can't.
any
I can't.
catfish in your? Ian wants to
No,
know if you've got catfish.
I had albino channels in there. I had added them when they were like 4 inches. They got to be like 30 inches, and some of the smaller koi disappeared. There are bluegill in there,
Yeah,
but yeah,
that's rough
some
when other fish start disappearing.
yes.
B
So,
Halo says that's funny. GFW is great. Yeah, I thought that line from George, I don't like that was a quick-witted remark from a young kid to throw out indoor weathering. I mean that's just too funny. Hey, hello Sherry Rob. This is an ex coworker of mine from 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago.
now she's gonna actually see how crazy you are.
I know. I want to know why she's not working.
Oh,
As far as I know, she still has a job. Oh, apparently I'm now being called the wired one. Although Chris, I'm not doing any wiring today. I was actually saying earlier, I don't really know that I have a project. What I need to do is another video. Um, so I'm kind of hoping that like you'll come up here and you and Frank can talk, and I can screen share and I can work on my video. Ian, I love albino channels. Yes, they can get up to 50 pounds.
yes.
I have no idea what an albino channel is.
A channel catfish.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. I
So I
I mean
mean,
I've seen that. What's it called where they stick their hands in the hole and the catfish tries to bite their hand and then they pull the catfish
noodling.
out?
Yeah,
Yeah,
noodling.
noodling.
I'm not doing that. There's too many snapper turtles around here.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, it's pretty good. Hey Bill at New Frienders. Bill, you want to come up here? Oh, I just hit the wrong button. That's not gonna work.
one of Heath's glitches again.
I am the glitch.
You gotta change
Ian
it.
says I have the Pennsylvania state record. Here it is. I have the Pennsylvania state record for the heaviest bullhead catfish. Now, is that Ian? Is that from noodling or is that from like raising it in your own?
That's funny. That's probably from catching it rod and reel.
It's so wild, man. You see, like, you know, I know a little bit about Ian Lehigh River Subdivision from his videos. I know he just had a kid. I know for his 300 giveaway contest, he said he was going to give away the kid, or at least that's my interpretation of the video. Um, but I would have never guessed that he fishes for catfish. That's like,
We all have side hobbies. Fishing's one of my favorite. I didn't get to do it much this
oh,
year.
is it?
Usually, you know what? Really, my dad passed away in 2017. Him and I fished at least once a week,
Uh,
and since he's passed away, I, we always had all these spots. So I don't even feel it doesn't even feel right going back to the same spots anymore. So I haven't really done much since he passed away, but it used to be once a week thing with me and him.
Ian, was it catch and release or was it cooked up and delicious?
Up in Beltsville, he caught that up in Beltsville.
Yeah, that's what he said.
I am not quite sure what part of Pennsylvania that's at.
He's in. I'm assuming he's in the Lehigh Valley, just
Oh,
based on
he's
his
on the other
name.
side of the state then, yeah.
Yeah.
He's closer to you.
Mike from Cross Tanker says, "I love fish." Do you guys have a fish, Mr. Mike? Do you guys have fish? Do you guys have a fish tank, or do you like eating fish?
What's crazy about that, Heath, is that job I had just left 2 weeks ago. I was the actual supervising manager at Aqua World here in Pittsburgh, which is the area's largest fish store.
Oh, that's really cool. Oh,
So yeah, I know about the fish.
wow. I
And I was
mean,
a
we had.
supervising manager, but the stress with the retail.
Oh yeah, retail's brutal.
So until they find out what they're going to do about this aneurysm, I am not doing anything such.
Yeah, that's something you got to be careful with. That's for sure.
I'm going outside now near my pond that actually shares with my neighbors here. Hold on. Let me see if I can see any of the fish. Yeah,
Oh wow.
my water's crystal clear. Here, I'll get them to come up.
Wow, that's so cool.
I could build a train over that thing.
Definitely. Wow, the Lake of the Ozarks. Thomas Iden says, I spend many of my days bass fishing on the Lake of the Ozarks. Because of the show Ozarks, I am so in love with the Ozarks right now.
The trees got to be beautiful up there right now.
So Mike says we have a 3K pond and a couple of fish tanks, but the fish tanks are, I'm assuming he means shut down at the moment.
Yeah, shut down. I don't have any
Yeah,
fish tanks
shut.
in the house anymore either. One time I had 8, and then I got married.
Mike says that fish is bigger than my leg. Yeah, right. Marriage is, if you want to know a way to not have any more money and not have time for your hobbies, I think marriage is a good
Well,
good way
that's
to
the
do that.
thing. The funny thing, the fish tanks had to go, but the train was fine as long as I gave her a room for a craft station.
Yes. Yep.
So she has no room. She has my old man cave downstairs as a craft station. I have one of my children that have grown and moved out one of their bedrooms as my train room. And I have the biggest room in the house, but it's still, I love to have it much bigger.
Hello, Bill.
Hello, Heath.
Ian wants to know if you have any birds of prey come after your fish.
I used to have blue herons come here, but they don't come anymore.
Wow.
I discouraged them from ever coming again.
So, Bill, what are you up to?
Looks like I lost my camera. Hold on a second.
There
We
you
can
are.
see you. Now we
Now you
can.
go.
I have no idea how big Mike says he's got a 3,000 gallon pond.
That's what 3K is, 3,000 gallon.
I kind of wonder how he knows how many gallons are in it. Did he take a milk jug and count the number of gallons?
You can watch your water meter before you start filling, and then what's it called? Or you can, if it's a square pond, you can figure out the gallons by the dimensions.
Ah, gotcha. Right. I guess you can figure it out.
Sorry, Heath, I slid my computer over and my camera went out on me.
Oh, that's funny.
Most people don't have the square one, so you go down, you put your hose in there, you look at your water meter, and you see how many gallons it took to fill it.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah, I haven't done koi in probably 20 years. I was doing beta fighting fish at one point, and at one point I had 150 males that I was fixing to sell to a pet store.
Wow.
Out of one of the hatchings that I had, and unfortunately my friend's dog bumped the cage and all the cups fell over, and I had one left.
Oh,
They were
yeah,
in
people.
individual cups, but I hadn't had the lids on them yet because I didn't have the lids.
You know, in a big enough tank,
And
you lost you again. We
yeah, I
lost
had
Heath.
a
Heath got off.
yeah, I had them sitting in a 30-gallon tank,
Hmm.
but there was about 2 inches of water in the bottom when all the cups fell over, and they immediately went after each other, and I
Right.
managed to save about a dozen.
What's funny about those Siamese fighting fish, and like if you were on here earlier and heard me, I was supervising manager. We have a breeder that brought them into our store.
Oh,
If you have a big enough aquarium where they can get away from each other, you can put many in a tank
yeah,
because they
yeah,
don't swim. They don't swim very fast, very far.
no,
So
no,
we
I
had a
actually had
75
them.
gallon. We had a 75 gallon that we had about 20 in there just to prove that point.
Oh man, yeah, I had a 30-gallon that I had um the koi in for a while, and I got rid of them. I had two tiger Oscars that I bought together that I didn't have to separate, and they were fun. They would stay on either side of the tank, and they'd claim their territories. I had the same stuff on each side, and every once in a while they would come to the middle, grab each other
Hey,
by the
Drew.
mouth, spin around, and release, and end up on opposite sides of the tank and look at each other, swim across, and go to the other side of the tank to their sides of the tank.
Well,
Oh, that's funny.
And they did that for years. They ended up almost 8.5 inches long when I got rid of them.
Wow.
hey, Drew. I just noticed you were in here. Young Drew is with us. I didn't even notice he came in.
Yep.
Yeah, Drew's here.
I
If
couldn't
anyone
even
doesn't know Drew, go check out his channel. But
His channel's awesome.
Yeah.
yeah.
He's got a lot of fun stuff on there.
I try.
So Drew, no school today.
So yeah, I mean, we have these things that are called asynchronous days. So we don't have to go do like Zoom classes. We just kind of work through school on our own. So I saw this and I'm like, why not just hop on? So
Yeah, that's how I was. I was home from work. I ended up with an upper respiratory infection, so
Oh
they
no, he's
took me
got
out
the
of
put
work.
your mask on.
Oh, that
Okay.
was yeah, that was everybody earlier on Real Wicked Canadians channel when I was on there earlier this morning.
Oh yeah, I did. I saw he was up earlier.
Yeah, he was doing his Friday morning shout outs. We were picking on Shannon all morning.
Nice. Shannon deserves it. Although somebody
Shannon,
who just popped into the chat, I gotta give a hard time to. Allie apparently wasn't subbed to me until this morning, and I thought we had been friends for a while now. So I don't know. I don't
hello,
know what's
Alley
up with
Chat.
that, Allie. Hey, Real Artist, how you doing today?
Doing okay, all things considered.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm retired, so I've got nothing else to do except play with my trains, work on my books, writing my books, not coloring in them. And
Hey, man,
So I came
coloring
down-
in your if you're coloring your books, more more power to you.
well, I'm writing a book on human anatomy now, so it's taken up a lot of my time.
That's really aw- will it be will it have some of your art in it as well?
It's going to be all my illustrations eventually.
Okay. And then you'll have some sort of what do they call that? Text or whatever to go with the images.
It's human anatomy for artists and art students.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
So it's just going to be muscles, bones, and a few other goodies.
Oh, awesome.
Nice.
I'm also on quarantine.
Where are you
Friends of
based
mine-
out of?
I'm negative, but my best friend here in town, other than my wife and family, was tested positive, and I was with him a week ago. But
Gotcha.
I tested negative after that,
Ooh.
so I'm stuck at home.
Yeah, I've got a test out right now. I should get the results either today or tomorrow, just to make sure, because we have had it on the construction site I was on, but it's been out for a couple months now. So
It's amazing how these people with big money can get their results back the same day.
I
well,
went to Walgreens.
if they had the quick test, I would have, but the place I went to didn't have the quick test. They just had the regular standard test. So I was like, okay.
They're saving all the quick tests for the NFL and the politicians.
Yeah.
Ian, give me a second, and I'll.
I'm in the chat. I got it for my channel.
Okay. Are you? I don't think. Drew, post something so I can make you a moderator because I don't think you're a.
Okay. Oh, I'm getting the link to my channel. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, I can't see the YouTube channel at all because I'm on my phone. So.
Oh, I can't post. Oh, that wasn't even.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just do a post, like a regular post, and then I'll make you a moderator, and then you'll be able to post the link.
Okay.
Come on, Drew. You know how this works. What do you do?
I just posted. I said post. Okay, we're working.
Jeez, I tell you, you've been on YouTube for a month. You don't have it mastered yet?
Me and YouTube live chats just don't work together because for some reason my Chrome on my MacBook doesn't like to work. So somebody has feedback.
You do.
Someone may have their mic up or
I'm
their
hearing
speakers up.
Drew's echoing.
Oh, I am? Huh. Okay, this should be better. But it doesn't let me mute, so whenever I have the window open, I have to like mute my whole computer. So
Got to put headphones on like Heath over there.
That's why I do it. I just don't even want to deal with the,
That's why I do it. And I also have to
feedback.
remind myself to drop YouTube off and just leave StreamYards or whatever stream I'm on, leave that up.
Yeah.
Even
I'll
with
usually have it
even with
hidden somewhere
headphones.
too, and then you got to go find it to remember where it was.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to add a new thingy. A new thingy. That was good. That was very articulate of me.
So while we're trying to figure this out, I was recording a video last night, and I got back and I was putting everything together, and the audio quality from the microphone was completely not good. So I did the whole thing again, and I put the mic farther away from me, and it still was getting that. So I don't know if I'm going to record it a third time or what, but it's really kind of trouble.
You want to eat the mic. It's so.
Yeah.
Here, I'll give you.
Drew, can you turn the sensitivity of your mic down?
That's probably true. I mean,
So listen to the difference, Drew. So I'm talking now, and I'm actually using this mic up here, right? And you can hear the difference. When I switch to this mic where I can actually like eat the mic, the sound, basically I don't have to turn this mic up as loud because it's closer to me. So all of the extra sounds around me disappear because I now don't need this one turned up as much. Whereas when I go back to this other mic here, I need to turn it up louder. So now it's picking up all the room noise. So it's picking, like when I talk and it bounces off this wall, the mic's picking up me talking and bouncing off the wall. Whereas this mic, when I'm eating it basically, and I usually keep it a little bit off center so people can see my lips move and stuff, but the sound will be much better.
Yeah, that's what my mic kept maxing out, or I don't know what the term is, but
clipping. It's called clipping.
Yeah.
Well, it was doing a whole lot of clipping, so.
Yeah, it means your gain is too high.
Yeah.
I have a Blue Yeti Nano, so there's a software you can download, and I had it already, but when you accept the terms and everything, it said like Russian something, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll try to find something else. So I don't really know.
Are you sure you had the right Blue Yeti software?
Yeah.
I went to blueyeti.com, and then there's the tab that just says Blue Yeti Shepherd or whatever the software is called. And then I just downloaded it. And when you're accepting the terms, it says like South Russian Technology Corporation. I'm like, no thank you.
I don't know. I don't use the Blue Yeti stuff, but I know a lot of people have had a lot of really good success with it. The other thing with the Blue Yeti is you don't talk into the, like on this mic here, you actually talk into the side of it, not the top of it.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the Blue Yeti that you have is the same. So you need to make sure that you're talking into the front of it. And they're also on a lot of the Blue Yetis, there's a little dial on it where you can adjust the pickup pattern. So you could set it to just pick up what's in front, and it'll block out some of the... Everyone's like, why are we talking about this? This is...
No, not at all. That's one of the reasons why I went to a headset.
Oh, yeah, go...
Uh-oh, am I breaking out?
No, everything just got quiet. Nobody was talking.
No. It was just you and Bill were talking at the same time, and then you both stopped talking at the same time. So I think we were all just waiting to see which one of you was going to start talking first again.
I know he was asking about mics. It's like, yeah, that's why I went to a headset, just because this room is so large that there was so much echo in it. I almost sound like Claude or Steve.
Yeah.
Trying to yell across the room to a microphone because my webcam has a microphone on it, but I try not to use it, especially when I'm doing videos now. I won't use the microphone on the camera. I'll use the headset instead. It just makes it a lot easier, a lot cleaner. Something I picked up over the last month or so for doing videos.
I could probably use my gaming headset. I never thought about that.
Yeah, that's what this is. It's a Logitech gaming headset, and I love it.
I wish, Tom had Heath on. I guess Heath, you were his first live guest, were you not?
I was his first victim. I mean, yeah, his first guest.
And they were talking about giving passwords so they could get in. I don't know why Tom didn't do something simple like this. No password either.
So I am not a big fan of StreamYard because in order to look, there's a couple things. So Tom paid for vMix, so he uses a paid account for vMix. vMix is actually a professional streaming software. StreamYards, to get that same level, costs a lot of money, and he just didn't want to pay for another thing. I prefer using OBS because it's so much more controllable. Like right now, I can move people around and stuff, but I can't do picture in picture. If I want to let's say I want to bring up my sponsor thing, right? It comes up in the little window, and then I gotta go over here and hit solo, and then click back, and then go back to where do I go back to this? So there's just a lot of it's a lot easier. I have a little iPad set up here, and I script all my buttons. So I can push a button and it'll turn the right mic on and off. It'll bring up the correct scenes. If I'm gonna play a video, it'll play the video, and then when the video's done, I set it up to automatically go to another scene when it's finished and stuff. And you can't do any of that stuff with StreamYards. So all of the music Tom plays and all the bump ins and bump outs and stuff, you can do it in StreamYard. It's just a bit clunkier.
Huh, I was wondering why. Because this is the third time I think I've been on StreamYard, and I guess because I'm using my phone, it's so much easier for me.
Well, and it is.
Andy's saying he has the blue snow. Oh, sorry.
Am I the only one getting some?
It's done like a TV or something in the background.
Yeah, there may have been news on.
Well, I was in my living room a second ago. There was a TV on.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was.
Going crazy.
Okay.
Andy was saying
no, not yet. Not yet.
Well, anyway, so
snowball and didn't have software for it. That's how I was with my mic. The first video I used it in was the RDC thing I made.
Yep.
And I didn't have to touch any settings. That was when I chose not to download the Russian software. And it worked fine. So I don't know what's going wrong. But this video, it just every time I recorded any kind of sound, it completely maxed out the mic. And no matter how much I turned it down in Final Cut, it just didn't sound good.
I'm trying to mute people. When Drew talks, I do hear the echo, but I don't know if it's on Drew's side or if it's on.
Drew's the only one I hear echoing.
Yeah,
Well,
usually
no, I
when you
can-
hear an echo, you're hearing it because Drew's talking. It's coming out of somebody else's speakers and going into their mic.
Well, I've already
It's usually
bye.
not the person talking, but I don't
Yeah.
know. Andy says, "Gosh, I'm so glad I don't have a channel. This stuff sounds so complicated." It can be complicated or it can be simple. I make it complicated because before I got laid off, I was in AV. It's what I did. So I use a lot of the knowledge from the AV world when I do this kind of stuff. You know, you can take this little device right here and make great movies also with.
Yeah, that's what I did, Heath. Some of my first videos that I shot on my channel were done on an iPad.
Yeah, all those
And-
videos are on mine, or either my phone or a little mini cam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then what I ended up finding later, I didn't realize at the time. I do a lot of 35 millimeter photography, and the camera I have, the Canon I had, has a video setting on it. I had no idea, and so I started using it. But yeah, I do because I live so close to Charlotte Motor Speedway and ZMAX, and my father was worked for Bruton Smith. I got a lot of areas of the racetrack that not many people can get into. And over the years, you know, it was something I had fun doing, taking pictures at the speedway and that. But then I got into video now, and it's like in trains. I'm like, bit off a whole lot.
Wonder what kind of trouble I'm going to run into on this guy now. I know he's mad. eBay just popped up on my phone. I won the auction for 99 cents on an Athearn Genesis P&LE.
Awesome. I do that sometimes. I'll type in like
99 cents.
I'll type in like
Wow.
micro trains and then just look for the 99-cent stuff and just bid on all of it. And I usually lose most of it, but every once in a while you get something for 99 cents plus $5 shipping.
Hey,
Yeah.
if you're looking for Athearn stuff, don't forget, like you're looking for if you're looking for Athearn or whatever you're looking for,
Check misspellings.
Misspell it on purpose and see what pops up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey Bill, what Canon camera do you have?
What the heck was this thing? It's ESO Rebel T3i.
Okay. Yeah, so I have can't remember. So this is a 7D. So the original 7D. And then this camera right here is a 5D Mark II.
Yeah,
You guys got
Because I used to do still photography, and I had these.
Yeah, well, see, that was me. I did still photography for years. I was 15 when I got my first camera. My dad got me a Canon A1 programmer.
Yep.
Through my uncle who worked at Canon.
Yep.
I've still got that thing running around here somewhere.
Hey, my Nikon has a video.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it
Most
will.
newer DSR cameras do have a video feature on them.
I did not know that. I have a tripod too. This is great. You guys may,
Yeah.
you guys may see
I've
more
got,
videos.
I've actually got two tripods. I've got the little one that I use when I stick it on the layout and do stuff, and then I've got a regular 5-foot. I've also got a single. Yeah, I've got a single peg one that I use when I go to the track for shooting. That's like a walking
A
stick
monopod,
style.
yeah.
Yeah, I've got a monopod because I've got a what is it? It's a Tamron 600 millimeter lens.
Nice.
And I know a little bit about lenses. I'm into astrology a little bit too. I could probably see Heath's layout.
Oh, yeah.
If I had a straight line of sight, I could probably look at Heath's layout.
I was going to say, Frank, that telescope looks almost like my lens. The thing's almost 18 inches long.
Yeah.
And I took a picture at Charlotte Motor Speedway from the top row shooting across the speedway to the Titantron of a wreck, and took the picture down to Big's camera here in Charlotte, and was showing the picture to one of the guys, because I was taking out certain pictures and printing them, and he was like, "How close were you to get that shot?" And I was like, "Oh, I was on row 35 of section of the Chrysler section." I go, "This is the Titantron. If you look up in the corner right about here, you can see the bug eye safety light
Yeah.
in the picture." And he's like, "That's the Titantron?" Yeah. I go, "Here's the outline of it." And I showed him the outline of the TV screen, and he's like, he couldn't believe the shot that was made. And I was like,
Yeah, I have another Nikon little handheld. It's actually a video camera. It's a little one. I haven't used it in a while, but it has when it was advertised, I guess I got it on QVC or something back then.
Yeah.
The guy was making a joke calling it the peeping Tom cam. And I took it down to the river, and the point of Pittsburgh where they have the fountain and everything is about a mile and a half upriver from me. Well, I sat there on the shore there with it on the tripod, and I zoomed in, and I was actually able to see people's faces on the boats down there.
yeah.
I was like, mile and a
That's
half
how
away.
this lens was. What sold me on it is they had 2 pictures taken with that lens at the door, which is, what is it, 5 blocks outside of downtown from the Bank of America building, which has the real nice, pretty crown on the top of the building. And they have one picture shot all the way out, and you can see the entire building. And then they zoom in, and you can only get 4 floors in the crown.
Yeah.
And I can't remember how big the building is, and I was just like, I want that lens. And then I found out how much it was, and I was like,
So Heath, I guess
I'm looking
I
at,
guess I got the equipment, but now I got to get the technical aspect of downloading those apps.
I mean, you just got the reality is too. You just got to start doing it, and before you spend any money, know that there's very likely something free that is just almost as good, if not just as good. Probably 90%, 95% of what I use, I'm using 100% the free versions.
yeah.
So,
That's like, I'm using, for most of my uploads of my videos, I'm using straight just YouTube or the Windows 10 video editor. That's all I ever use. And most of it's all straight shot stuff anyhow. If anything, I do voiceovers every once in a blue moon. With stuff, and that was the only thing. And then I realized I could start using my headset if I'm not in camera and not worry about the audio quality, because I've thought about going back on some of my older stuff and doing voiceovers, just so I could be better heard and not have to yell.
I do
Up to 6 feet from my camera.
99% of my videos are actually voiceovers. Me talking in the bottom right corner of my videos, 99% of the time it's done afterwards. So there's a guy on here named Anthony Dodge, and he looks just like Anthony Dodge, the model train outsider, but he seems to maybe have changed his name to just Anthony Dodge. I don't know what's going on. Andy, yes. So what I use for my overhead shots is a GoPro 5. So if you have a GoPro 8 and a Canon SL2, you have significantly better video equipment than I own. And Anthony says, no, it's my work ID. Anthony, are you in your classroom goofing around again?
Okay, well, thank you everybody for letting me on, but I'm going to get back to school.
School?
Yeah,
Come
get
on.
back to school.
True enough, is at his door.
He didn't even give me a chance to ask. He's supposedly going to put a video out later today. Hopefully, maybe he still hears me and he'll post when he's going to post that video.
I'm glad I got on here because I learned a little bit about the mics and the camera thing. I'm not ready for my own YouTube live streams yet, but I'd be able to come on with you guys without much trouble setting up there.
I'm sorry, I'm just laughing at. I'm looking at the line that you had up there, Heath, and I'm just like, oh.
Oh, I am.
Yeah, digital definitely killed the audio, the analog, and especially 35 millimeter.
Have you heard the song? So Anthony, I don't know if you know Anthony Dodge does a lot of parody railroad songs. So if you go to Anthony Dodge, the Model Train Outsider, subscribe to his channel, he's got his songs posted, and one of the recent ones was that song.
I'll have to do it later off of YouTube. I can't do it off the off of StreamYards. I was gonna click over on his name and
It's free
go to his
out
channel
there.
real quick.
So Somerset Andy is either behind in the video or he went back in the
he just
chat.
rose up and left. I don't know if it's my connection or what. I have full signal, but everybody keeps flipping the little circles on my screen. So
Oh, I don't know. Can you see Andy's question? Because that's probably for you. Because I think you're the only one fisherman here, unless Rail Artist is also a fisherman.
Used to be.
I
I
do
don't-
some fishing,
yeah.
but I'm like fishing. I don't do any river
well, there you
fishing
go.
at all.
I do most of my fishing with lures, unless I'm going for catfish. Then I'll either use live bait like bluegills for flatheads or chicken livers for channel catfish.
I've actually Johnsonville's summer sausage for flatheads. That's what I'm using out here.
That's too funny.
I'll eat. You know what? I'd sit there on the shore fish.
Oh,
But
we're
if they
losing
see
Frank.
down here, they
Hold on, Frank. Say that again, because when you were walking, your signal went out.
Oh, I said I'd probably sit on the shore and eat the Johnsonvilles.
That's why I
I
use a
go out
whole log. I usually fish for about an hour because I'll go through half the log eating it and half the log for the fish. I end up with
Yeah.
no
Around
fish
here,
bait by the end of it.
Around here, they tend to like bluegills in the 3 to 4 inch range. We get flat.
There he goes again. Scott Eric Catalano says, "Did you know they
Catch 'em.
outlawed noodling for catfish in Tennessee?"
No, I did not.
Yeah,
Wow.
they're worried about the
I wouldn't
catfish
doubt
spreading
it.
corona. I don't know. But
No, they're
yeah,
probably worried about people getting bit by snapping turtles and that. Yeah. That's
Yep.
why I'll never noodle out on the lake that I have out here because I've seen alligator snappers and I saw one 15 inches across on the shell. He was crawling across the road. I stopped like, what the heck is that in the road?
He'll take
Leaned
your
out the
finger
window,
clean
took
off.
a picture of with my phone, and I looked at it when I got to work when I could actually see some light and clean the picture up, and I could see the ridged back, and I was like, ooh, alligator snapper. Good eating.
Steve, I think I'm going to skip doing that.
No.
Yeah, you lose fingers. That's
Yeah.
the catfish's teeth. When you go noodle and everybody says, "Oh, he bit you," but their teeth are more like rough sandpaper.
Yeah.
So they're not. I mean, you get a couple scratches on you, maybe.
Yeah.
But
that's why most
if you
of them you
reach in
see
there
have
and there's a
the
turtle or a
neoprene.
water moccasin or a copperhead snake, yeah, you don't want to reach in that hole.
No.
Yeah, I it's kind of funny because I will watch a train go around a layout in circles for hours, but I don't want to sit by the side of a lake and wait for a fish to bite the hook. And I was talking to Gordy from NMRAX, and I'm actually interviewing him on Sunday, but we were doing like a tech check. He said that fishing is the #1 male hobby in Britain, and apparently model trains is #2. So I think it's interesting because both of them can kind of be this whole, sitting around waiting for things to happen.
Yeah, I do a lot of bobber fishing for catfish. I'll throw a line out at night, right at dusk,
Yeah.
take a bungee cord, hook it up to the line, hook it up to my dock, and I'll just sit back, have a beer, and
Yeah,
just watch
the
that
whole,
bobber float around.
unless you're lure fishing, which you got a constant catch and retrieve. The fishing that you're fishing on the shore, if you don't like, Heath, is actually the most relaxing fishing. You don't have a wife screaming behind you. You're just enjoying nature. If the bobber never goes under the water, you had 4 hours of peace.
Yeah. Well, it's like I had Lake Patrol pull up because I had the radio playing on the boat one night, and they pulled up from the back side of the boat off the edge of the dock because we had all our lines going out the end of the dock. And he's like, "So, how y'all doing tonight? Y'all catch anything?" And I looked at him, I was like, "Nope, just a good buzz."
Yeah.
Held up a beer. I was like,
Yep.
"No, fishing's not that good off this side right now." But then again, I hadn't had a whole lot that I had done around the dock like I have now. I've got some old pine trees and stuff like that that have fallen into the water, so I have a lot more places for the fish to hide.
Nice habitat.
And I've got a blue heron that loves my boat. He'll sit on the boat and eat all kinds of stuff.
I had the
So, Mr.
herring
Dodge.
Once a week, and I have to go out there and clean the carcasses.
Somebody,
so Mr. Dodge, you're sitting there waiting for students, I guess. Are you doing a little bit of fishing on of your own?
No, the last time I caught a fish, I was 11 years old. It was a northern pike at Burt Lake in Michigan. Northern pike.
We got to come kidnap him and take him fishing.
Yeah.
I haven't gone fishing in 40 years, about 45 years.
That's too long.
I have never caught it. I have been fishing. I have never, ever caught a fish.
Oh, my God. Not even a bluegill.
What were you doing wrong?
It was camp. It was when we were at camp, so I don't know that we had any idea what we were doing in the first place.
Well, there's probably no fish in the lake either.
If you were fishing in the Hudson, we know why.
There are people.
Oh no,
Heath Pier will be empty for another 2 weeks.
Care for us.
Hold on,
all my TV is like this.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Here's my new fishing idea. Heath goes fishing in New York City.
About the only thing you're going to catch is a couple of rats, maybe a couple of boots out of the rivers.
There are actually some areas around here that people do a lot of fishing, and
a couple of mafia deliveries.
Yeah.
We were Jimmy Hoffa. My wife and I were actually.
No, we know where Jimmy Hoffa is. He's in
Jimmy Hoffa.
No, we know where Jimmy Hoffa is. He's buried in turns 3 and 4 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. There's a hump that they can't get rid of. They've tried for 50 years and never gotten rid of it. It keeps coming back.
Jimmy and Elvis, they're everywhere, probably together.
Yeah,
having a cocktail somewhere. Yeah, definitely.
What they say on Men in Black? He just went home.
Yeah.
So is anyone doing any train stuff, or is everyone just sitting around fishing?
Well, I do my train stuff in the evening.
Is there a choice?
Yeah, we're doing train stuff, sort of. I'm making a mess of my train layout. Of course, I had to bug on Shannon this morning. I got that locomotive from him finally on Monday, and I went to shoot a video of it, put it on my layout, hooked up my DCC, hit select loco, went 003. Nothing happened. For 3 hours, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Why can't I get the locomotive? So I'm trying everything I could think of to make it work, and then realized, you dummy, it's address 3. No zeros before it, just 3.
I was just going to say that.
I put just 3 in, lights came on, everything worked. It started running the layout, and I'm like, and I'm sitting here trying to shoot a video doing this, and I'm getting more and more frustrated. I finally turned the video off. I was like, I'm done. I'm done for the night.
You have to post that video. That's a classic YouTube video. You got to post that one.
Oh no, I posted it.
All 3 hours of it.
It was after I figured everything out is when I finally shot the video.
Unless you got bad language in it, then it'll be demonetized. So.
Well, I'm not monetized anyhow. I'm not that big yet.
He's getting there.
Yeah, it's
going to be a while. It'll be a while yet, but
Yeah,
I
think I've
love
only
Rail
got
Artist layout. Look at the
205.
size of that thing.
Yeah.
The yard is about 20 foot long, 8 track.
Come on, trade me houses. Jeez.
Oh, I could probably do that here if I was allowed to use this room. Instead, I get to do modular layout.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean
gonna
that's
swing
what.
around this way. If I
The one
swing the
behind
other
the
way,
one
you'll see
behind
my
the camera is a
messy
4x6.
rack. This is
Oh,
my
look at that.
downtown. Hopefully you can see it. Nope.
But
too
he-
far
that's-
away.
That's pretty much what I want to do around the outside of the room.
I'm guessing.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
This is only about a year old.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. You got a lot done in a year.
Time.
Well, Heath, you seen my video, Heath, and I had just started on that last spring.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mine's only 3 months. This layout's only 3 months old. I mean, about the only thing I have on it is the plaster cloth, and that's it in the track. I don't have anything else done to it yet.
You're getting to the part I like.
Hey, Rail Artist,
the
do you
shit-
do
yeah.
do you do your painting down there in the basement too, or do you have another
Yeah,
space
it's
for that?
around the corner here. So if I get tired of trains, I go over and slap some pigments.
And you never have to go upstairs.
No, because then I have too much work to do when I get up there, according to the
Yeah.
wife.
Yeah, right.
He's probably
You got your
he's
honey-do
probably got a-
list?
Oh,
probably got a
honey-do
fridge
list,
down there.
honey-do book.
Yeah.
He's probably got a fridge down there and everything.
Oh no, that I go up for.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, beautiful.
That's nice. That's nice.
Burlington
Watercolor.
Northern?
Burlington Northern.
That is
St.
gorgeous.
Paul,
Nice.
Minnesota. Way in the back is the Minneapolis skyline.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah, they run through sometimes on the
I'm going to commission a P&LE off of you.
You can do that. Watercolor.
Yep. Just like that one. Look at that Burlington.
Staples, Minnesota.
yeah.
Rail
Yeah.
Artist, how can people get in contact with you?
I can give you I feel comfortable in giving you guys my email if you can accept it.
Yeah, I can accept it. Let me get a pen.
Sure, I can do that too.
Got to be one laying here in the late.
Nice. Chicago Central. That's another one that used to come through where I grew up. Burlington Northern comes through there every once in a while, but it's mostly
Come on, Lonnie.
Union Pacific now.
I lived up in Minnesota for 35 ill-gotten years, and that's where I started my painting and my trains and all of that fun stuff. I also do pencil sketches.
Hold on, I'm still
Nice.
looking for a pen. Ah. There we go. Oh, I lost everybody. It's all spinning, and I'm sitting next to my router, so it can't be my signal. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, go ahead with that email.
It's railartist@yahoo.com.
Oh, I didn't even need a pen for that one.
I've also got railartist101@gmail. It's a lot easier.
Yeah.
And my first name is Mike.
Mine's Frank, as it says there on the thing, and it'll be coming from Steeler fan.
Okay.
I'm here in Pittsburgh. That's why I asked about P&LE.
I'm just about 200 miles south of you.
Not too bad.
I'm in West Virginia on the Ohio River.
I can go out my front door and see the Ohio River.
I'd have to walk about 3 blocks.
I want to come visit. I'll just get a canoe and float.
Yeah?
Small world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in Parkersburg.
I know exactly.
Okay, you're
where
about
that
all right. I know exactly where you are. You're about 3.5 hours north of me. I'm at the North Carolina-South Carolina border
Oh, yeah.
in Charlotte. Well,
Yep.
I live in live across the border in South Carolina, but Charlotte's the easiest one to say.
My cousin lives in Charlotte. And she loves it.
Yeah,
5 to
it's a
6
great
hours.
town.
Yeah, I'm right at the beginning of the Ohio River up here in Pittsburgh. So,
Mike,
Yep.
are you seeing some of these comments?
I can't, for some reason, chat's not coming up for me.
But the comments I'm putting up on the screen, can you see?
Oh, yeah. Yep,
Yeah,
I'm
here's
a Mike
Corbin.
It's a Sailor.
Mike, you
Yeah,
were
so I was
about
about to say, Mike,
Mike,
you were in
about to
Michigan.
maybe
Oh.
not become a rich man, but you're about to have a lot of business.
That's fine with me.
Hey,
This
guys,
one
I
is
asked first.
the,
P&L first.
Minnesota Transportation Museums when the Dan Patch was being worked on.
Yeah.
America's first internal combustion railroad locomotive. Still in use today.
Mike, are you doing these off of photos, or are you doing them off of like you go down there and you hang out?
No, I do everything off of photos. It's easier on an old guy.
Yeah.
Well then,
Yeah, so Mystic Southern Railway is asking if you do any Southern Railway paintings. I'm guessing any photo
Anybody.
he sent you, you could.
Oh, yeah.
what was your email address again? I bumped out.
Rail artist.
Rail
At
artist at yahoo.com.
Railartist@yahoo.com.
Yep.
All right.
See, this pilot and control guy, he's really close to me.
If we were any closer, it would be inbreeding.
Yeah. I could get to his house in driving in about half hour, 45 minutes.
This one was taken on the Burlington Northern Main Line, coming up out the bottoms into Northtown. It was about a half a block from my house when I lived in St. Paul.
What's behind that? Hey, was that a Chessie behind him or?
Milwaukee.
Oh, okay. I just seen the yellow and the orange. I'm assuming Chessie back there, but yeah.
Yeah, Milwaukee.
I'm gonna have to send you a good picture of my private road locomotive so you could do a watercolor. That'd be nice.
As long as it's your private road and not your privates.
Yeah.
You never know with him.
Yeah, with Scott, you got to be careful.
Oh, they're gorgeous, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's it for today. Can't let you too much.
All right, I'll take you in. I'll take you in. One I bought one at a train show, which I thought was pretty cool. That's why, and the only reason I bought it is because it had diesel, electric, and steam all in the same photo.
Nice.
Let me see if I can get that.
Thanks,
up there.
Mystic.
Hold on, I'll make you bigger. Where are you? There you go.
Trying to get that in there. I bought that at a train show because it had the diesel. Where's the electrics? The GG1's over here, the steam, all in the same picture, all Pennsylvania.
Nice.
That's the only reason I bought it, because it had all three eras in it.
That's
I
really
also
cool.
do a lot of pencil sketches and pen and inks.
No, that's neat.
Pen and ink prints usually go for about $25 a piece. I'll bring some of them down next time.
Wow, that's you sell everything direct, or do you do any stuff through any hobby shops or anything?
My wife and I are just starting the business, so it's more direct than anything.
Okay.
That way I can keep track of what's going where and all that fun stuff.
You keep
Yeah.
all the money.
No, she does.
She spends all the money, I thought.
No, she doesn't spend it. I don't know how much is in the bank account. She won't let me know because it'll all be down here with my trains.
Smart wife.
Yeah, that's mine's put me on a
Can't be too
curfew.
damn
I'm
smart.
only
She married
allowed.
me.
He gets an allowance on a prepaid card.
I
Issued
get
by the
her
government.
routine. That's all I need.
So, Rail Artist, should I post your YouTube? Are you going to put up some more videos, or?
I'm going to start doing some more. It is Rail Artist here on YouTube.
Yeah, I found you.
Yeah, I'm going to be starting to post some series of my drawings and paintings as well as my railroad. Just, I haven't gotten the time to do that with all of this COVID crap going on.
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
a registered nurse, I get called a lot.
Hey,
Oh, okay.
Retired registered nurse.
Hey Heath, over the last couple of weeks, you've proved yourself very proficient at finding things. You ever think of taking? You needed a job. Be a private investigator.
The problem with private investigators is sometimes they get shot at.
Yeah.
Nah, go in the Marines. If the Marines can't find anything, Heath wouldn't.
Oh,
Oh, come on. I was with the Marines in Vietnam. They couldn't find their way out of a paper bag.
That's because you
Yeah,
guys
no.
are too high.
No, that's because all the trees look the same.
They're
Because I
too
was
busy
hiding.
screwing the women and getting high.
Back
Yeah.
then, yeah.
I don't talk bad about vets. I had a whole family of them.
So do
I
I.
hear you. Same here.
I've
My
lost.
dad was
I've
Marine
lost
World
2
War
errors.
II. Took after
Yeah.
him.
That room I was just in, I could have shown you 2 flags that were folded over at family members' caskets. I have them on the wall.
yeah.
Yep, I
I've
got my dad's.
I've got one right now from my father who was in Korea, who I lost 3 years ago, and then I just lost my uncle, who served in World War II, on attack subs, both of them Navy.
Mm.
Yeah,
Um,
my uncle Bill was Navy, and my dad, who I talked to Heath earlier and said he had passed away in 2017. He was 27 years Army.
Yeah.
The last
My late
5
father
were-
was in the Army Signal Corps. What's funny, you talk about the Korean War. He held dual citizenship for Italy and the United States. And of course, when the Korean War started, Italy wanted him. He told him no because he's in the United States Army. So they were playing back and forth, but he stayed with the Army. They didn't force him to be in Italy, though. They could have.
Yeah.
No, it's funny that New Fenris Railroad mentioned your father was in Korea, uncle was World War II. My father lost an eye in Korea, and my uncle flew bombers over Germany during World War II.
Yeah, they were both Pacific Fleet. My uncle, he actually wanted to serve in Korea again on attack subs, and he was told no, he's too old. So he started a family instead,
Wow.
which is where he met my dad's sister. My dad's oldest sister was her husband. It was her husband, and my dad has some great pictures from Korea. He was a ship's photographer and sportsman for a carrier. I want to say it was the USS Princeton that he served on, and but to look at him later in life, you would not know that he was a basketball star through high school and college and was in the Navy.
Yeah, it's amazing what you don't know these people did. And my dad spent all that time in the Army. He was certified Huey mechanic, the UH-33 or whatever heck the Huey is, mechanic in there. Had all the certifications. Actually flown them once or twice. And the last action he actually got to go see was a little known thing. They got shipped down to Honduras as peacekeeping, pretty much like Vietnam. But nothing happened down there. And a couple months later, he came back home. So.
That's like my father-in-law was in Korea. He was in the Army during Korea in the Air Corps as a instructor, pilot instructor, but never flew planes. Doesn't know how to fly a plane. We're like,
just a classroom guy, like the guy below you.
Apparently, we think, but hand the man a rifle, and he will take the hairs off a fly at 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
Wow.
The man is a dead-eye shot. He got mad skeet shooting with his son, who is a Charlotte police officer, because he missed 1 of 10. He hit 9 out of 10. He winged the last one and got mad. And he had perpetual shakes until you hand the rifle to him, and then his dead solid. But any other time, his hands were like this. He had tremors.
I can't imagine what some people went through and the things that they saw, and then have to come home and, it's like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, especially especially Vietnam, Korea, and
Well, here's one for you.
in World War II, it was a lot. There was a lot more definite lines on where the combat was lying, and I think you can agree with that, rail artist, that it was a little bit different. I mean, I've known a lot of Vietnam vets, and there was so much that they said that just was behind the scenes that nobody realized. Yeah, you didn't know who was friend or foe, who was ally, who wasn't.
Right.
Yeah, just think how many of us wouldn't be here if those guys didn't make it back in World War II.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Speaking of wars, here's one for you. As I said, my father came from Italy, and he saw and witnessed the Nazis come in and take people out of corner shops and shoot them right there in front of everybody.
Oh, that's World War II over
So seeing that firsthand.
in the Eastern Theater was brutal. Brutal.
Yeah, a lot of my family came to the States during that time. I'm really only second generation in the States on both my parents' sides. My grandmother came here at 16 from Warsaw, Poland, and my father's family came to Chicago from Ireland. So from Dublin, Ireland area and Cork, which I still have families over there in Ireland that I've caught back up with over the last couple of years, and also in Poland. We researched our family back through and found out that some of our family from Poland were in the concentration camp at Auschwitz and actually made it out. They were there as construction personnel, but were not actually interned in the camps, because most of my family was Roman Catholic. So they didn't have the Holocaust aspect of it, but they saw what the Holocaust was all about.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
My neighbor, when I was a little kid, my neighbor 2 doors down had the tattoos. And by tattoos, we're talking the numbers burned into his arm.
Yeah. Yeah, Digger, I forgot you were from County Cork.
My three of my grandparents were born and grew up partly in Germany and came to the United States. The Dodge part is from England, but 3 of my 4 grandparents were immigrants.
Yeah. Yeah, we had the American name of my grandfather was Pold, but that was the Americanized version when he came through Ellis Island. It's actually Pol, P-O-L. If you look up Pold in Poland, you'll never find it.
Right.
If you look up Pol, you'll find everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know what Digger's saying, but I'm hoping it's not something bad.
I think autocorrect got messed up on him. I'm thinking he's saying concentration tattoos.
Actually, I think it translates to something talking, Heath. You'll have to.
Oh no! Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Digger's Ireland, Gaelic. It's probably Gaelic.
Yeah, he's saying Irish Gaelic. Yes.
Yes. It took me a minute to look at the setup. I haven't read or spoken Gaelic in.
How are you?
30 years. How are you?
But you're only 29.
No, I'm 49.
That was close.
He's older than Heath.
That was too funny the other day when you were like, "Yeah, Heath's younger than me." I'm like,
well,
wish.
you look younger than me.
I wish.
I got you all beat.
So just real quick, if people don't know, Jimmy at DIY and Digital got his channel hacked, but he's got a new channel back. So if anybody was following him back in the day, or if you just want to follow somebody who's got a really great channel, he's a good guy to sub up to.
Yes, he is.
Anthony's heritage must account for his Merklin layout from Andy Ambrose.
Sort of, in a way. I got into trains because I went to Germany every summer. Beginning in 2003, I took students to Germany, and a bunch of working class kids from this school here. And we always rode the trains. It was cheaper than trying to rent vehicles or organize anything. And that's where I really started to fall in love with the German rail system. And when the exchange program ended a few years ago, I wanted to recreate that. I wanted to recreate that little bit of Germany and the trains originally in my classroom here, which is what, well, those things are. But I bought a couple of nice trains and decided they were too nice for the classroom and started building a layout at home. And Merklin is the name in German trains, and so that's where it really came from. But it started with traveling by train throughout Germany, which now my wife and I, every June when we go to Germany, we travel by train. We don't rent a car. It's by train. We love it. It's relaxing. It's easy. You still see the sights out the window because when you're driving, you know, you talk about, like, I had uncles that were cross-country semi-truck drivers, you know, transport drivers, who also fought Vietnam, if we're going to keep on that topic. But they, you know, you talk about, oh, you drive across the country, you see so many things. They're like, I see the road. I see the road. That's what I see because I got to focus on the road. And I've driven across this country with wife and kids. And I mean, we've gone, we did a 22-hour stint where we drove straight from Toledo to Wyoming nonstop. And, oh, it must have been wonderful seeing all that. I'm like, no, I see the highway. My wife's like, honey, look. And I'd look and, whoa, no, got to get back on the road, pay attention. So traveling by train in Germany is where I developed a love of trains. So I don't know anything about, in America, trains are, I know, guys, shoot me later. To me, growing up, trains were a pain in the butt. I had to be somewhere, stop for 20 minutes at a train stop. That's what trains were to me. It's in Germany where I'm riding and going by train. And to this day, I'm not into, people always ask, why don't you have a freight train on your layout? Why don't you have a freight train on your, I'm not into freight trains. I'm into
Train
passenger.
trip is so expensive here.
Well, yeah. And in Germany, like so many things in Germany, it's relatively inexpensive. It costs about a third. Well, first of all, gas in Germany is $10 a gallon. But it costs a third of what would cost if you had the same train system in America that you have in Germany. It would cost you about $40 or $50 to drive from Toledo, Ohio to Miami, Florida. It would cost you, let's say $50 to $60. Now, how much would that cost you in gas? How much would that cost you?
Exactly, yeah.
And everything else. It's so much cheaper and it's more relaxing. You don't have to stop for a potty break. There's a bathroom in the car up ahead. It's just so much easier to travel. And so I wanted to recreate that. That's why all my trains are German or train. And my rule on my layout to help soothe my wife into this was I could only buy trains I'd ridden on.
I have the numbers if you want to watch it live. I just sent you a Google Doc.
Sorry.
Your email.
Let me mute.
Yeah, good luck.
And rail artists, I sent you an
School
email.
calls.
Yeah. First of all, I will not go over the PA while you're teaching. See, I'm on lunch still for another 20 minutes, although technically I'm done for the day. But I won't go on the PA and interrupt you all the time. She's on the PA interrupting all the time.
Dave,
Guys, I gotta say, I'm out. I'll see y'all later. Heath, I'll probably catch you tomorrow morning on Sidetracked if you're on there. All right,
tomorrow morning is back on track.
Yeah, back on track, not sidetrack.
Yep.
Yeah.
With Shannon. Yep. I
All
will
right.
see you then.
Yep.
Awesome. Thanks for being here.
Yep, no problem.
Is it ironic that back on track comes before sidetrack? Shouldn't you do sidetrack first? Shouldn't you do sidetrack first and then back on track?
Depends on how you start your week.
The goal is always to stay on track. By the time you get to Sunday, though, you veer just so far off that.
Yeah, but you call the show back on track, which meant you already went off track.
The prior Sunday.
Sorry, semantics. It's a hobby of mine.
I didn't come up with the name. I don't know why they call it that.
So
Leslie, I've done some vacations in the USA and Canada only using public transport, except the last trip. In no way was I traveling on a rail replacement bus from Seattle to Portland due to landslides. Interesting.
Yeah, so overseas have very good passenger service that we envy, and overseas envies our freight system. Go figure.
No, I doubt that too.
No. No, Germany doesn't envy our freight system. Germany, the freight system's great, the rail system's great, but they give priority to the passenger service. Passenger service has priority. In America, the opposite. Freight has priority, passengers have no priority.
Rail artist, did you hear me? I sent you that email.
Yeah, Andy.
I'll go up, that's upstairs. I'll go up and look at it eventually.
All right.
It'll be today.
No problem.
Yeah, that is Germany in a nutshell. That is Germany in a nutshell. Gottverdammten Zug! 5 Minuten spät. They get up, they blow their fuse if the train is 5 minutes late. If the train's 5 minutes late, they're Gottverdammt, invade Poland, you know, yeah, but that's how it is. Now the last couple of years it's a little different because they've had some changes in the retirement system for the train drivers, and a lot of guys retired before they got affected. And now they're starting to actually have big delays with a lot of their trains.
Mm.
Not that anybody but me cares.
Yeah, American railroads are having the same thing. Can't replace people fast enough.
Well, they need to know those jobs are there. I teach in a working class town, and we used to have woodworking, metalworking, and all sorts of shop classes in the school. They're all gone. Everything's computer tech because that's, quote, the wave of the future. Yet the electricians, the plumbers in this area, and woodworkers are screaming for workers, but the kids aren't being introduced to it. You know, it's kind of funny. Lawyer, but we need the guy who can build a house. We need that mason. We need that woodworker. We need those guys too. And our kids, and this is an inner city school, they need to be shown these jobs are worthwhile, because I don't know about you, but when I see an electrician who knows his stuff, I think the guy's awesome. If I see a plumber who knows his stuff, I think the guy's awesome. And we need more of them. And they're always complaining. We need people, but the kids aren't being introduced to the jobs because we're too busy teaching them business and finance and computer IT and everything else. And these other jobs are still there, but the kids aren't being shown it.
Yeah. Some of the local railroads here, Norfolk Southern's laying people off. So
really?
Well, that's always been the railroads. They hire, they train, they lay them off. They hire, they train, they lay them off.
You're in N scale, Heath. So there's a guy on YouTube there, DJ's Trains. He's from Pittsburgh area too.
Yeah.
He's an engineer for Norfolk Southern. He was one of his videos. He was talking about. He was
engineer for
CSX.
CSX.
That's right. Yeah, that's sorry, my fault. Got the whole railroad messed up. But yeah, he was talking about worried about being laid off. He works for CSX and models the Norfolk Southern. That's what.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you for the correction there.
Oh, well, railroads, just like the airline industry. Now, see, I went to school for aviation. I'm a commercially rated pilot. September 11th killed my career. 3 months later, I got hired on the Union. 3 months later, I got hired on the Union Railroad in Pittsburgh. And I stayed there until 2006, went to ATI, stayed there until they had the employee lockout. Now I just go around doing rules review, simulator, and different things.
Yeah, I don't know about you other guys, but the difference between the CSX and the Norfolk Southern here is just a river. It separates the tracks. That's it. It separates their tracks.
Did you one thing about Conrail, you guys ought to read the book if you haven't. The Men, I think it's called The Men Who Love Trains, and the Men, whatever it was. It's a softcover book, and it's about the story of Conrail, how it got split by Norfolk Southern and CSX. CSX and Conrail would have split, and they were in an undercover meeting, and one of the board members was also a board member of Norfolk Southern. And the guy who was CEO of Conrail at the time was at a Penn State game in Penn State main campus. He got the call because someone whistleblowed the Norfolk Southern. He got a call from the FRA stating what was happening. He stood up and was yelling explicitives, and he left the game to come back to Pittsburgh. If they wouldn't have whistleblowed Norfolk Southern, then it would have been CSX and Conrail who would have would have run the East Coast, Norfolk Southern would have been pushed out. And so Norfolk Southern raised a stink to the government, and then the government stepped in and said, "Okay, you guys got to split evenly."
So Scott, speaking about you flying, if I got onto a plane and I saw you as the pilot, I think I'd turn around and walk right back off.
If I saw you coming onto the plane, I would have flown outside the wing.
Yeah, exactly.
I would have been like, "No, Heath, you're going to break this plane somehow. I'm out of here."
Either one of you guys are in the airport, I'm turning around and leaving.
Yeah.
Knowing us, we'll all
However,
run into
when
each
I was-
other in some, airport, in like California or something, all heading back to this coast.
I hate airports.
Me too.
Chicago's the worst.
I used to do a lot of traveling. Yeah, Chicago was. I did not think I was going to make my plane in Chicago. The lines were just.
I flew in from California, from LA to Chicago on the way to Pittsburgh. And if you've been to O'Hare, you know that the airport's shaped like a big U.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They let me off on one side of the airport. I got 5 minutes to catch my connecting flight on the other side of the U. Run around that place, only run with my baggage. Run, get to the other side, only find that the flight before me had been canceled and they moved everybody to my flight, and now I had to sit and wait.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Hey, Growler.
The longest I waited on the tarmac was for 3 hours.
Longest I waited at an airport was 13 hours. I got dropped off in Fresno, California, and there was no flights into LA until the next morning. So I sat there all night. I slept on the floor while they were vacuuming. That sucked.
Now, see, I have different experiences in airport because I have not flown in the United States. I haven't flown from one place to another. But I have taken 18 kids that 14 of them had never been on a plane before, flown out of Detroit to Amsterdam or to Charles de Gaulle. But the one time I had 18 students in Amsterdam, our plane was an hour late, and we only had an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But originally between that flight. So suddenly we get at the airport, by the time we landed an hour late, by the time you get off the plane, that's another half hour. And then you got to go get your, now your luggage moves ahead, but you got to go through the security the passport line. That's a huge line. So, but they held our plane for us because they had a lot of transfers coming in. They held our plane, but here we come, the last people on the plane. You want to talk about 300 people glaring hatred at you because they've been sitting on the tarmac for an hour waiting for you. And here's me with all my wife, and 18 of my students sheepishly coming in while everybody's just like, "You're the damn reason we're late." Yeah, but the worst airport, at least in this part of the world, again, I apologize if other people, Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris is the worst airport. I think if you go and look at international ratings, it's always considered one of the 5 worst airports in the world. It is ridiculous. You get off a plane, they say, "Go to the buses over there." Of course, they say it in French, and if you don't speak French, F you. And then so you go to the buses take you to this little hall. You sit in the hall for half an hour waiting for another bus to come and take you to another waiting hall. So you sit in that hall for so long until another bus comes and takes you to the actual building that your gate's at. And they just move you around. And if you are worried about something or you have a question, if you don't speak French, go away. And I just speak enough French to get my face slapped. So, but that's the crazy. 18 kids to Amsterdam.
Yeah, he's got a lot of courage there, Andy, taking 14 kids to Amsterdam.
18. That year it was 18.
Oh.
I was when I was during college, I worked for Aircraft Service International Group, which fuels and services aircrafts in all the major airports, and it helped pay for college. And it was in July, our supervisor came over the radio and said all available fuel trucks go to Concourse A at the airport. because there was 3 777 that left O'Hare Airport that were going straight to Germany, but had to be diverted to Pittsburgh to get refueled and serviced because there was some huge storm over the Atlantic or on the East Coast somewhere that the planes couldn't go. So it came to Pittsburgh. We refueled them. It took me 3 hours to fuel that one plane. And it took another guy 3 hours to fuel the other side of the one plane. They're just
Why 3
huge.
hours?
They're
Because
huge.
each wing, they're huge, man. Huge.
Those wings are full of fuel. They're huge,
Yes.
and you're not pumping any faster than you with those transports that he's driving around. You're not pumping any faster than your gas station.
Oh, really?
Well,
I didn't realize that.
actually, no. Each jetway has underground pipe, and they look like old-fashioned fire hose reels, and they pump faster than our trucks do. And one thing, the Pittsburgh guy, what's your name? I forget. Frank. On Neville Island, if you see those barges, they're all full of fuel, and they're always returned 24 hours.
Yeah, I love that. I love the smell of fuel down there.
And they go up over the hill, dedicate pipelines to the 6 holding tanks that sit at the Pittsburgh airport.
Yeah.
And then they go to underground pipes to all the jetways that have those little yellow or red carts, which are fuel pumps. And then the hoses go up to the wings. So
Yeah,
it's always fuel is always actually.
Those pump fast, but those little fuel trucks do not.
No, they don't. So we did not use the fuel trucks for those. The
So why did
Volvo
it
I
take
used to drive
So why did it take
did
3
pretty
hours?
good. Because of the sheer size of the wings of those 777.
I've never been next to one, so.
Oh, huge. But anyway, and you thought the people were and there had to wait. They had to wait until that storm. So that was about 10 o'clock in the morning. By the time all the planes were fueled and services, it was about 3 or 4 in the afternoon, and they didn't take off until about 8 o'clock that night.
Oh.
So imagine all it, and those planes were filled. I mean, they were filled. And you talk
sweat
about
bombs.
people being on air.
All right, guys.
And
Well,
then
it's been almost 2 hours here. I'm going to get off. I have to go pick up my wife from work very shortly here. At least we have one
See you
income.
later,
source.
Franco.
See you,
Frank,
Frank.
I think I'm actually going to follow your lead. It's 1 o'clock. I got some work I actually have to do as well.
Yeah,
so,
you haven't done any like you said you were going to.
No, I know. Well, we got talking, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's good just to hang out. So
All right. Well, I'll see
I'm
all
gonna
you
take
guys
off
on
as
that.
well.
Do you know if
He's gotta
Tom's
get some-
actually doing his show next week?
Stay safe.
Sorry, who's doing a show next week?
Is Tom actually going to do his show, or is he having somebody else do it?
I don't know the answer. I know he really wanted to do a show last week. He just had too much going on. I don't know. I haven't heard yet on Monday. I'll try and find out though, because I'm doing Sidetrack Sunday. So I'll try and find out so I can let people know for Monday.
All right. Yeah, I'll see you on one of those side tracks or off the rails or something. All right.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. Bye.
See you later.
Yeah, guys, take care. I'm out of here too.
Yep.
Got
See ya.
actual work to do.
Thanks, Mike.
He has to get things done so he can get his allowance from his girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly.
I did all of that stuff this morning
Just gotta get
already.
the apartment cleaned. Do the dishes before the girlfriend gets there.
I do.
All
I
right,
think
later on.
everything's cleaned up by the time she gets home. So, Anthony, it's 3:30. You're going up, right?
Yeah, give or take 5-10 minutes. Just how much I got to do before I can go on. I get home at 3, and then it's just set things up and
Yep.
whatever else I got to do. So yeah.
Awesome. Thanks,
Later.
Scott. Thank you.
No
See
problem.
everyone later. Thanks everyone in the chat. I will. I'll catch you all on the other side.